Torch, you talk about your top four defensemen being so important to what you do as a team defensively, getting out of your zone, playing defense in front of the goalie. Normally, when you talk about your top four, it's Seth Jones, Zach Werenski, David Savard, Vladislav Gavrikov. Gavrikov was not in your top four in the game against the Blackhawks. What is your top four right now as you see it?
I don't know. I think it goes from game to game. It goes within the game. Shawzy makes the call as far as the ice time. We've played Michael Del Zotto a lot more minutes than we thought we were going to going into the season. I think Michael's been a little bit inconsistent here with, I think, too much ice time. Z's been out for seven of the past 8 games, so it's been a little bit of a revolving door. I'd like to think that our top four are our top four: Savvy, Gavi, and Z and Jonesy. I hope it gets to that. But it's been, as our team, it's been a little bit inconsistent.
Speaking of that, Gabriel Carlson, he was the guy that was in the top four the last couple of games. What have you thought of him? And I know it's a small sample size, but, I thought he showed up pretty well in that second game against Chicago.
Yeah. He, as we got reports last year, he's improving. He was banged up a lot, didn't play a lot of hockey. I thought last night he had a lot of puck poise. For a guy that hasn't played a lot of games to step in and play, made a couple of little subtle plays. I thought defended well, made some mistakes along the way, as they all do. But that's encouraging to see him be able to especially handle the puck the way he did. He's long, he's in the way. He's going to be back in, he's going to play. And I think it's really encouraging to see his development.
Has he been a little bit more physical than you thought he might be?
He's more involved. Yeah. I don't think he goes running around looking for all of it, but he's in the way. He has just been, the thing that I like about it, and it's usually the first thing that goes, it's tough to get back when you haven't played as much, is just positioning within that position. I think he doesn't chase the game. I think he allows the game come to him. It's one of the things that with Pika chased the game because he took himself out of position all the time because he was almost too aggressive. I think Carly has thought the game pretty well, and it keeps himself in really good position when they have to come through.
What are you seeing with Gavrikov? I mean, we saw him come in here and be such an impact guy right away. As you said, he's not the only guy having struggles this year, but what do you see in his struggles?
Yeah, the first thing is just the moving of the puck. I think he's fought the puck a little bit this year. He still does a lot of the grind. He blocks shots, and I don't want you to think that this guy's been a dog. I just have such a high standard for him and what he is as a player and what he has shown us. That's the thing, Bobby. I've seen him play so much better. We want to get to at least that standard and have him keep improving. So puck moving, it's been a struggle as far as some reads. Just the overall game has not been to the standard that we expect out of him. And so for me, it's getting to that standard and then start improving and get even better.
Right. And that's his fault. He set that standard. So he's the one that has to live up to the standard.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to run him down. I just know you can play better. And we need to get you there. And then let's start working on playing even better than that as we keep on pushing along here.
Alexander Texier seemed to really jump out in that last game. And I don't know, he just seemed like he was everywhere on the ice. Did you get that impression too? You must have. You played him a good bit.
Yeah, probably our most consistent line last night. Him, Bemer, and Max. I thought Max took a couple of strides as far as his game, although I don't want to fall into the trap of such a low standard for Max. I just thought he improved. But he still isn't at the standard what he needs to be. But Tex was jumping, he was moving, he was skating, made some plays. Still like to see him shoot the puck more. Gets busy sometimes where maybe he just needs to have a little poise with the puck. But I thought that line played well and was probably throughout the 60 minutes our most consistent line.
When you say gets busy when he should have poise, that's mainly youth, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, it's youth. It's energy. It's something that I want him. You know, we've talked for a couple of years. Just his hands. His hands gets going so fast, and he throws such hard passes in short areas sometimes to his teammates that they can't handle him. And he just it will come with experience as he keeps progressing. And I'd rather tone a guy down than try to, because it's really hard to get him there. And so I'd rather tone a guy down. We have that with him, and I thought he played really well.
Yeah, you got enough guys you're trying to pick up right now and get them
Yeah, we
back
have
to
a
where
few
they were.
guys. Yeah, yeah.
Is it fair to say that at this point in your career, it's much more pats on the back than it is kicks in the butt?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out with this group, especially some of the new players. I know the foundation of our group that I've coached now for 4 or 5 years. They know me. With the new group, and there's a number of those players. That's been a it's been fluctuating with me. How do I approach them? How do I approach Max? Do I kick him? Do I hug him? Do I sit them? You know, all those things come into play. And as you have conversations and you go through some experiences, I think you find your way. Uh, I just need to find the way a little bit quicker here now because we're in a jam. You know, we're a 500 hockey club here, 21 games in, and we got a tough division to get in top four. We're going to have to start winning some games, and I've got to do my job better to get more out of people to help us win hockey games.
Mentioning your division, Jody and I had this conversation the other day. He brought up a pretty good point, and I'm going to preface this by saying this is not an excuse. I really want your opinion on this, but you know the difference between the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference in the style of play. Big and tough in the West, speed and skill in the East, and this Blue Jackets team is one that made that transition. When they used to play in the West, they used to be one kind of team. You get in the East, kind of a different kind of team. You're in a hybrid
Yeah.
division right now where you've got now Chicago plays more like an Eastern Conference kind of
Yeah.
team. I understand that, but now you're going to Nashville and Dallas is in there, and have you noticed that the different styles of play?
Yeah, yeah, I have from the other teams, but the most important thing, Bobby, is how are we going to play? What are we? You know, and that's still a question mark. We're kind of in a state of flux here as far as what we are because our lineup's changed a little bit, and a lot of people don't talk about him that much. We missed that Nyquist, I tell you. He was kind of a stabilizer for us, and did a lot of work along the walls, was a great pro. And, some other players are out of here one way or another. They didn't want to be here or traded, whatever. We've lost a little bit of the jam. And we're still, I do believe we're still trying to figure out who we are. And because we're a tweener. Because I don't think we're doing enough grinding. And I start thinking, well, do we have the personnel that we expect to grind the way we used to? And are we skilled enough to be that offensive team? We're kind of in between in both areas there. And that's where we're trying to find our way.
That's a good point about Gus, and you bring him up, and yeah, you forget about him because he hasn't
No
played all
one,
year. You don't. I forget about him because I haven't seen him. But that's a great point.
I see him every day. I say, when the hell is he getting back? I see him every day. And I say that to him every day. No one talks about that guy. And he is he going to score 30, 35? I doubt it, but he's going to give you your 15, 17 goals, but he's such a stabilizer for us. And, our lineup's changed. Look at our lineup. It's changed. And I think we're all still trying to mesh it. And with 56 games, you got to do it quickly. And after 21, we have not done that. And that's a responsibility of the coaching staff. And we haven't gotten there quick enough.
Every time you ask him when he's coming back, is he starting to give you more favorable answers?
He just doesn't answer me anymore.
That's probably his best
He
bet.
doesn't
anyway.
even look. He doesn't even look at me anymore when I come by the trainer's room.
Yeah, him and there's probably more on that list than just him, actually. One last thing for you here. I know you always talk about one game at a time, and that's all that you can do. But you mentioned you're a 500 team. You look at this schedule. You go into Nashville back to back, a team that's been struggling. You got Detroit after that. I mean, at some point, you've got to start to put together some kind of the streak wins, right?
Oh yeah. And after, and I see, I don't think any team's easy. I mean, who the hell are we to say that it's an easy game or we should win that game? We can't say that about ourselves right now. We need to be honest about that. But I do look ahead at the schedule, and I've looked at it more this year because of the 56 games. It's a whole different way of coaching with a 56 game schedule. We've got them coming after these 3 games. We've got some competition coming at us in our division after these 3 games. So we still take a game at a time. But as a coach, I'm a little bit different this year in trying to see what's ahead of us here also. And and that's even more into play when we have an injured goalie too, behind Corpy. So I have to and think about that. So yeah, but we'll get ready for our game tomorrow afternoon and see where we go.
All right, Torts. Well, good luck in trying to get it tuned up and pick up points along the way before it gets even tougher. Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Bobby, be well.